Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hakeem Jeffries, he's the minority leader in the House of Representatives. He vows Democrats will support each other as groups threaten to primary anti-Israel progressives. AIPAC is among the groups publicly criticizing anti-Israeli progressives. AIPAC is a organization. It's basically a lobbyist group that's been around since the early 60s that promotes Israeli items, Israeli country citizenship, trade, culture with the United States. Been around for a long time. It is one of the main contributors to Israeli-U.S. Cultural exchanges. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat in New York, and being in the upstate New York, I'm real proud of that. Remember, Hakeem Jeffries is going to be on the short list running for president when Biden walks away. Remember, you heard it here first. Indicated his caucus would defend its progressive members, even as pro-Israel outside groups threaten to recruit and back primary opponents against those who have been critical of the U.S.'s Middle Eastern ally. Now, it's amazing. All those moderate-type Democrats that were around 6, 8, 10 years ago, the progressives primaried to get out. In fact, the main person that benefited from all of this is AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who primaried I think he was like number 3 or 4 Democrat in the House of Representatives and won a primary in New York. Now, we all know in Queens, the Democratic primary is the general election for all intents and purposes. So I find it amazing that when they go after moderate Democrats, they try to get them out, and they've gotten a lot out, that somehow they would have a problem with other Democrats that don't agree with the things they agree with. Isn't that interesting? Hypocrites. Outside groups are doing what outside groups are going to do. Jeffrey said at a press conference Friday, I think House Democrats are going to continue to support each other. It's amazing to me. They can do it to other Democrats. When Democrats do it to them, they're Islamophobic and evil and hateful and wah, wah, wah. Groups like the American Israeli Public Affairs Committee, which I just talked about, AIPAC, have been attacking the Progressive Squad and other lawmakers who have opposed aid to Israel in its war on terror group Hamas. And there you see Jeffries there. What my old school Italian relatives used to call a real piece of work. Many of those same lawmakers targeted, including Ilhan Omar, what a shocker, Rashida Tlaib, another shocker, AOC from Queens, we just talked about, Jamal Bowman from New York, he's the guy that famously pulled the fire alarm, delaying a vote, and the House of Representatives lied about it, and then pled guilty to a misdemeanor $1,000 fine and some probation. And then later the real video came out where he tore down the emergency signs in the window and pulled the fire alarm knowing damn well what it was and then lied about it. Among others, have emphatically criticized Israel and its governments in the past. Jeffrey's defense comes after he sent a clear message to AIPAC and other special interest groups that House Democrat leaders would support incumbents. It's no matter if you're what you are. If we can get a better Democrat to fill your seat, we're not interested. Jeffries, along with House Minority Whip Catherine Ross, Democrat in Massachusetts, and caucus chair Pete Aguilar, he's a real piece of work, Aguilar. Oh, my God, when I say piece of work, I'm being kind, endorsed Omar for re-election over the summer, months after the House GOP majority voted to remove her from the Foreign Affairs Committee over controversial anti-Israeli statements. Representative Omar has been elected by her constituents 3 times and has consistently stood up for them. This is the one, by the way, that married her half-brother so he can get to the country unlawfully. And she was never prosecuted. Isn't that amazing? Including through her service on the House Budget Committee. Would you let Ilhan Omar on the House Budget Committee? Think about that for a minute. As House Democratic leader, or the minority leader, they happen to be Democrats, I vigorously endorse her re-election, stand with her as we battle extreme MAGA Republicans for the future of our nation. The Israeli lobby group that has been around for 60 years They're saying that they're extreme mega Republicans, a Jewish organization. These people are nuts. That's all they have to go after. Extreme mega Republicans. Both Omar and Ocasio-Cortez tore into AIPAC earlier this week after the group criticized them and others for voting against a resolution to condemn Hamas. You can condemn Hamas and still be critical of some things that the Israelis do that you don't like. They're not mutually exclusive. AIPAC endorsed scores of January 6th insurrectionists. Like who? They're no friend to American democracy, AOC wrote on Twitter. They're one of the most racist and bigoted PACs in Congress as well, who disproportionately target members of color. They are an extremist organization that destabilizes U.S. democracy. They've been around since the same year that JFK was assassinated. They look out for Israeli interests. That's what lobby groups do. Amazing to me. Now they're all racist and bigoted. And they're not friends of democracy. AIPAC literally ran ads with my face next to a Hamas rocket. Good for them. Resulting in a string of threats against my life, which I don't think is cool. But you put yourself out there and say these incredible, hurtful things and dumb things. What do you expect? There's always going to be this one or two nut bars. They're going to hold you. It's just sad the way it is. When Democratic leadership called them out, they refused to apologize and kept the ads up. What they're doing is insulting and Islamophobic. Now it's Islamophobic. Oh, okay. So when they were trying to piece together, this, you got to remember, this is just after 16 years after the existence of Israel, this organization. So were they Islamophobic against what happened to them in World War II, the Jews? It's amazing to me. AIPAC did not really respond for requests for comment. What are they going to say? It's like putting a microphone up to somebody and going, oh, excuse me, sir, when did you stop beating your wife? So there you go. We'll get a picture here of Jeffries because that's the guy that's going to be, he's another piece of work. Everybody's an extremist except for them. It's amazing. It's truly and truly astounding. I mean, I've seen what they call deflection, which you blame your competitors or competition doing exactly what you're doing, so you blame them. That's deflection. But the Democrats have put deflection into an art form. When the new speaker, Speaker Johnson, when his votes came in to make him speaker, him and about a half dozen or so Congress members knelt down and said a prayer to God thanking him. And this guy called them extremists. You're a dedicated Christian. Now, believe me, if that was Muslims, anybody from the Islamic faith, or any other faith but Christian, they wouldn't say a word, wouldn't have a peep. These people suck so bad, it's amazing. I don't know how in the world the Democrats have fooled so many millions of people in the U.S., tens of millions, that they're the open-minded people that welcome everyone with love and open arms, when the reality is they are the true racists. It's amazing to me. I can see doing it to get gain like Jeffries and them, but to the average American that believes this crap that Jeffries and the Democrats are spouting, they get nothing from it. They don't enrich themselves. It's just incredible to me. It's incredible. A friend of mine the other day, I live in upstate New York, said his daughter was in her early 20s when Roe v. Wade was overturned. She was madder than hell because she didn't think it was right that they banned abortion. And her father went to her, who's a conservative like me, but no. All the Supreme Court did is says Roe v. Wade decision is thrown out. And each state gets to decide what their abortion laws are. And she goes, oh. And she lives with a conservative father that talks about conservative things and real things that happen in the real world in the U.S. all the time. And even she was fooled. So I guess it's not so hard to fool them when all you watch, if you're under 35, is what you see on your phone. My understanding is 75% of people under 30 years old get their news from Twitter. Well, thankfully, that's changed dramatically with Elon Musk opening it. But this is the brainwashing that's been going on for decades on social media now and in the past and currently high schools and universities. Hopefully conservative people can make some in-ground. We're going to have to see. But it's amazing to me. Would they be complaining in 1944 that the Allies were bombing cities in Germany, killing German civilians? I doubt it. Until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.